Hello and welcome. Can you hear me? Thanks for coming by again. And I want to say I'm very thankful for you all. So thankful that we can have a space to meet up, right? I hope you're having a good time and share what you're thankful for, please. Who's here first? It's Mish. Thank you, Mish. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Oh, wow, 420 Wall Dragon is here. Nice to see you here. Looking, you're here. Hello. And Jamie, hi, Jamie. Hello. You give thanks today that you can all bear witness. I was alone for a long time in a large house. I recently brought a man who had nothing to help him. Oh, that's beautiful, Jamie. Bless you. Bless you, Sunny Day. Joseph is here. Hello, Joseph. Nice to see you. Molly Moose, yay! And Sean is here. Look at that, Sean. Happy Turkey Day. Yes, okay, everything's good. All right, so I want to share. It's all a leading. I feel led to do this. I stopped asking questions, okay? So it all goes into the things that are being revealed at this time. So, the book of Jubilees is a book of the Ethiopian Canon. So, I want to read the book of Jubilees, okay? We'll see how far we get with it. It might be broken up into a few parts. But what is Jubilee? Does anybody know what it is? Jubilee, I'll just read a definition, okay? Is that Jubilee it's an anniversary that is celebrated every 50, it's a 50th anniversary, okay? So it's a joyful celebration. And the book of Jubilees rather, is, they say that it's sometimes referred to as lesser Genesis. So it's an ancient work. It has 50 chapters. And that's what is very significant about it. When you think Jubilee, it is a 50th anniversary. So this book has 50 chapters. So that is amazing. Hey, Karen, thanks for joining us today, Karen. That is so nice to see you. IG is here. Hey, IG. Looking, you're saying alone but blessed together tonight. Together. That's right. You're not alone. I wanted to have this, just in case some of you are feeling that way, because I know holidays brings that out, and it's something that people battle. So I would like to have a place to meet up, of course, on a regular basis here. Okay, so let's jump right in and I will begin reading. So get relaxed and get something cozy. I'm drinking a hot drink right now. I haven't yet begun eating yet. I'm going to get myself prepared to eat food. I've been kind of, you could probably say I was fasting a little bit there. Okay, so Book of Jubilees from the books of the Ethiopian Bible. It says AM Anno Mundi, the year after creation. So Jubilees 1. And it came to pass in the first year of the exodus of the children of Israel out of Egypt, in the third month of the 16th day of the month, that's 2002-450, Anno Mundi, that Jah spake to Moses, saying, Come up to me on the mount, and I will give thee 3 tablets of stone of the law and of the commandment which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. And Moses went up into the mount of God, and the glory of Jah abode on Mount Sinai, and a cloud overshadowed it 6 days. And he called to Moses on the 7th day out of the midst of the cloud. And the appearance of the glory of Jah was like a flaming fire on top of the mount. And Moses was on the mount 40 days and 40 nights. And Jah taught him the earlier and the later history of the division of all the days, of the law and of the testimony. And he said, Incline thy ear to every word which I shall speak to thee on this mount, and write them in a book, in order that their generations may see how I have not forsaken them for all the evil which they have wrought in transgressing the covenant which I established between me and thee for their generations this day on Mount Sinai. And thus it will come to pass, when all these things come upon them, that they will recognize that I am more righteous than they in all their judgments and in all their actions. And they will recognize that I have been truly with them. And do thou write for thyself all these words which I declare unto thee this day, for I know their rebellion and their stiff neck, before I bring them into the land of which I swear to their fathers, to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob, saying, Unto your seed will I give a land flowing with milk and honey, and they will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange gods, to gods which cannot deliver them from aught of their tribulation. And this witness shall be heard for a witness against them. For they will forget all my commandments, even all that I command them, and they will walk after the Gentiles, and after their uncleanness, and after their shame, and will serve their gods, and these will prove unto them an offense and a tribulation, and an affliction and a snare. And many will perish, and they will be taken captive, and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my ordinances and my commandments, and the festivals of my covenant, and my Sabbaths, and my holy place, which I have hallowed for myself in their midst, and my tabernacle, and my sanctuary, which I have hallowed for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name upon it, and that it should dwell there. And they will make to themselves high places and groves and graven images, and they will worship each his own graven image, so as to go astray, and they will sacrifice their children to demons and to all the works of the error of their hearts. And I will send witnesses unto them, that I may witness against them, but they will not hear, and will slay the witnesses also, and they will persecute those who seek the law. And they will abrogate and change everything, so as to work evil before my eyes. And I will hide my face from them, and I will deliver them into the hand of the Gentiles for captivity, and for a prey, and for a devouring. And I will remove them from the midst of the land, and I will scatter them amongst the Gentiles. And they will forget all my law, and all my commandments, and all my judgments, and will go astray as to new moons, and Sabbaths, and festivals, and jubilees, and ordinances. And after this, they will turn to me from amongst the Gentiles with all their heart, and with all their soul, and with all their strength. And I will gather them from amongst all the Gentiles, and they will seek me, so that I shall be found of them, when they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul. And I will disclose to them abounding peace with righteousness, and I will remove them the plant of uprightness with all my heart and with all my soul, and they shall be for a blessing and not for a curse. And they shall be the head and not the tail. And I will build my sanctuary in their midst, and I will dwell with them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people in truth and righteousness. And I will not forsake them, nor fail them, for I am Jah, their God. And Moses fell on his face and prayed and said, Jah, my God, do not forsake thy people and thy inheritance, so that they should wander in the error of their hearts. And do not deliver them into the hands of their enemies, the Gentiles, lest they should rule over them and cause them to sin against thee. Let thy mercy, O Lord, be lifted up upon thy people, and create in them an upright spirit, and let not the spirit of Beliar rule over them, to accuse them before thee, and to ensnare them from all the paths of righteousness, so that they may perish from before thy face. But they are thy people and thy inheritance, which thou hast delivered with thy great power from the hands of the Egyptians. Create in them a clean heart and a holy spirit, and let them not be ensnared in their sins from henceforth until eternity. And Jah said unto Moses, I know their contrariness and their thoughts and their stiff neckedness, and they will not be obedient till they confess their own sin and their sin and the sin of their fathers. And after this they will turn to me in all uprightness, and with all their heart, and with all their soul. And I will circumcise the foreskin of their heart, and the foreskin of the heart of their seed. And I will create in them a holy spirit, and I will cleanse them, so that they shall not turn away from me from that day until eternity. And their souls will cleave to me and to all my commandments, and they will fulfill my commandments, and I will be their father, and they shall be my children. And they all shall be called children of the living God. And every angel and every spirit shall know, yea, they shall know that these are my children, and that I am their father in uprightness and righteousness, and that I love them. And do thou write down for thyself all these words which I declare unto thee on this mountain. And the first and the last, which shall come to pass in all the divisions of the days, in the law, and in the testimony, and in the weeks, and the jubilees, until eternity, until I descend and dwell with them throughout eternity. And he said to the angel of the presence, write for Moses from the beginning of creation till my sanctuary has been built among them for all eternity. And Jah will appear to the eyes of all, and all shall know that I am the God of Israel, and the father of all the children of Jacob, and king on Mount Zion for all eternity. And Zion and Jerusalem shall be holy. And the angel of the presence, who went before the camp of Israel, took the tables of the divisions of the years from the time of the creation of the law and of the testimony of the weeks of the Jubilees, according to the individual years, according to all the number of the Jubilees, according to the individual years, from the day of the new creation, when the heavens and the earth shall be renewed, and all their creation according to the powers of the heaven, and according to all the creation of the earth, until the sanctuary of Jah shall be made in Jerusalem on Mount Zion. And all the luminaries be renewed for healing and for peace and for blessing for all the elect of Israel. And that thus it may be from that day and until all the days of the earth. Jubilees 2. And the angel of the presence spake to Moses according to the word of Jah, saying, write the complete history of the creation, how in 6 days Jah God finished all his works and all that he created, and kept Sabbath on the seventh day, and hallowed it for all ages, and appointed it as a sign for all his works. For on the first day he created the heavens, which are above, and the earth and the waters, and all the spirits which serve before him, the angels of the presence, and the angels of sanctification, and the angels of the spirit of fire, and the angels of the spirit of the winds, and the angels of the spirit of the clouds, and of darkness, and of snow, and of hail, and of hoarfrost, and the angels of the voices, and of the thunder, and of the lightning, and the angels of the spirits of cold, and of heat, and of winter, and of spring, and of autumn, and of summer, and of all the spirits of his creatures, which are in the heavens and on the earth. He created the abysses and the darkness, eventide and night, and the light, dawn and day, which he hath prepared in the knowledge of his heart. And thereupon he saw his works, and praised him, and lauded before him on account of all his works. For 7 great works did he create on the first day. And on the second day he created the firmament in the midst of the waters. And the waters were divided on that day. Half of them went up above, and half of them went down below the firmament that was in the midst over the face of the whole earth. And this was the only work God created on the second day. And on the third day, he commanded the waters to pass from off the face of the earth into one place, and the dry land to appear. And the waters did so as he commanded them, and they retired from off the face of the earth into one place outside of this firmament, and the dry land appeared. And on that day he created for them all the seas according to their separate gathering places, and all the rivers, and all the gatherings of the waters in the mountains, and on all the earth, and all the lakes, and all the dew of the earth, and the seed which is sown, and all sprouting things, and fruit-bearing trees, and trees of the wood, and the garden of Eden. In Eden, and all plants after their kind. These 4 great works Jah created on the third day. And on the fourth day, he created the sun and the moon and the stars, and set them in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon all the earth, and to rule over the day and the night, and divide the light from the darkness. And Jah appointed the sun to be a great sign on the earth for days, and for Sabbath, and for months, and for feasts, and for years, and for Sabbaths of years, and for jubilees, and for all seasons of the years. And it divideth the light from the darkness, and for prosperity. And all things may prosper which shoot and grow on the earth. These three kinds he made on the fourth day. And on the fifth day he created great sea monsters in the depths of the waters. For these were the first things of flesh that were created by his hands, the fish and everything that moves in the waters, and everything that flies, the birds, and all their kind. And the sun rose above them to prosper them, and above everything that was on the earth, everything that shoots out of the earth, and all fruit-bearing trees, and all flesh. These three kinds he created on the fifth day. And on the sixth day he created all the animals of the earth, and all the cattle, and everything that moves on the earth. And after all this he created man. A man and a woman created he them, and gave him dominion over all that is upon the earth, and in the seas, and over everything that flies, and over beasts, and over cattle, and over everything that moves on the earth, and over the whole earth. And over all this he gave him dominion. And these four kinds he created on the sixth day. And there were altogether 22 kinds. And he finished all his work on the sixth day. All that is in the heavens and on the earth, and in the seas, and in the abysses, and in the light, and in the darkness, and in everything. And he gave us a great sign, the Sabbath day, that we should work 6 days, but keep Sabbath on the seventh day from all work. And all the angels of the presence, and all the angels of sanctification, these two great classes, he hath bidden us to keep the Sabbath, which him in heaven and on earth. And he said unto us, Behold, I will separate unto myself a people from among all the peoples, and these shall keep the Sabbath day, and I will sanctify them unto myself as my people, and will bless them, as I have sanctified the Sabbath day, and do sanctify it unto myself. Even so will I bless them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God. And I have chosen the seed of Jacob from amongst all that I have seen, and have written him down as my firstborn son, and have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever. And I will teach them the Sabbath day, and they may keep Sabbath thereon from all work. And thus he created therein a sign in accordance with which they should keep Sabbath with us on the seventh day, to eat and to drink and to bless him who has created all things, as he has blessed and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people above all peoples, and that they should keep Sabbath together with us. And he caused his commands to ascend as a sweet savor, acceptable before him all the days. There were 22 heads of mankind, from Adam to Jacob, and 22 kinds of work were made until the seventh day. This is blessed and holy, and the former also is blessed and holy. And this one serves with that one for sanctification and blessing. And to this, Jacob and his seed, it was granted that they should always be blessed, and holy ones of the first testimony and law, even as he had sanctified and blessed the Sabbath day on the seventh day. He created heaven and earth and everything that he created in 6 days. And Jah made the seventh day holy for all his works. Therefore he commanded on its behalf that whoever does any work thereon shall die, and that he who defiles it shall surely die. Wherefore do thou command the children of Israel to observe this day, that they may keep it holy, and not to do thereon any work, and not to defile it, as it is holier than all other days. And whoever profanes it shall surely die, and whoever does thereon any work shall surely die eternally. That the children of Israel may observe this day throughout their generations, and not be rooted out of the land. For it is a holy day and a blessed day. And everyone who observes it and keeps Sabbath thereon from all his work will be holy and blessed throughout all days, like unto us. Declare and say to the children of Israel the law of this day, both that they should keep Sabbath thereon, and that they should not forsake it in the error of their hearts, and that it is not lawful to do any work thereon which is unseemly, to do thereon their own pleasure, and that they should not prepare thereon anything to be eaten or drunk, and that it is not lawful to drink water, or bring in or take out thereon through their gates any burden, which they had not prepared for themselves on the 6th day in their dwellings. And they shall not bring in nor take out from the house to house on that day, for that day is more holy and blessed than any Jubilee day of the Jubilees. On this we kept Sabbath in the heavens before it was made known to any flesh to keep Sabbath thereon on the earth. And the Creator of all things blessed it. And he did not sanctify all peoples and nations to keep Sabbath thereon, but Israel alone. Them alone he permitted to eat and drink and to keep Sabbath thereon on the earth. And the Creator of all things blessed this day, which he had created for blessing and holiness and glory above all days. This law and testimony was given to the children of Israel as a law forever unto their generations. Jubilees 3. And on the 6 days of the second week, we brought, according to the word of Jah, unto Adam all the beasts, and all the cattle, and all the birds, and everything that moves on the earth, and everything that moves in the water, according to their kinds, and according to their types. The beast on the first day, the cattle on the second day, the birds on the third day, and all that which moves on the earth on the fourth day, and that which moves in the water on the fifth day. And Adam named them all by their respective names, and as he called them, so was their name. And on these 5 days, Adam saw all these, male and female, according to every kind that was on the earth. But he was alone and found no helpmeet for him. And Jah said unto us, It is not good that a man should be alone. Let us make a helpmeet for him. And Jah our God caused a deep sleep to fall upon him, and he slept. And he took for the woman one rib from amongst his ribs, and this rib was the origin of the woman from amongst his ribs, and he built up the flesh in its stead, and built the woman. And he awakened Adam out of his sleep, and on awakening he rose on the 6th day, and he brought her to him, and he knew her, and he said unto her, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called my wife, because she was taken from her husband. Therefore shall man and wife be one, and therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. In the first week was Adam created, and the rib his wife. In the second week he showed her unto him. And for this reason the commandment was given to keep in their defilement. For a male 7 days, and for a female twice 7 days. And after Adam had completed 40 days in the land where he had been created, we brought him into the Garden of Eden to till and keep it. But his wife they brought in on the 80th day. And after this, she entered the Garden of Eden. And for this reason, the commandment is written on the heavenly tablets in regard to her that gives birth. If she bears a male, she shall remain in her uncleanness 7 days according to the first week of days. And 33 days shall she remain in the blood of her purifying. And she shall not touch any hallowed thing, nor enter into the sanctuary until she accomplishes these days which are enjoined in the case of a male child. But in the case of a female child, she shall remain in her uncleanness 2 weeks of days, according to the first 2 weeks, and 66 days in the blood of her purification. And they will be in all 80 days. And when she had completed these 80 days, we brought her into the Garden of Eden. For it is holier than all the earth besides, and every tree that is planted in it is holy. Therefore, there was ordained regarding her who bears a male or a female child the statute of those days, that she should touch no hallowed thing, nor enter into the sanctuary until these days for the male or female child are accomplished. This is the law and testimony which was written down for Israel, in order that they should observe it all the days. And in the first week of the first Jubilee, it says in parentheses 1 through 7 a.m., Adam and his wife were in the Garden of Eden for 7 years, tilling and keeping it. And we gave him work, and we instructed him to do everything that is suitable for tillage. And he tilled the garden, and was naked, and knew it not, and was not ashamed. And he protected the garden from the birds and beasts and cattle, and gathered its fruit, and eat, and put aside the residue for himself and for his wife, and put aside that which was being kept. And upon the completion of the 7 years, which he had completed there, 7 years exactly, it says 8 a.m. And in the second month, on the 17th day of the month, the serpent came and approached the woman. And the serpent said to the woman, hath God commanded you, saying, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And she said to it, of all the fruit of the trees of the garden, God hath said unto us, eat. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said unto us, ye shall not eat thereof, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that on the day ye shall eat thereof, your eyes will be opened, and ye will be as gods, and ye will know good and evil. And the woman saw the fruit, that it was agreeable and pleasant to the eye, and that its fruit was good for food. And she took thereof and eat. And when she had first And when she had first covered her shame with fig leaves, she gave thereof to Adam, and he eat. And his eyes were opened, and he saw that he was naked. And he took fig leaves and sewed them together, and made an apron for himself, and covered his shame. And Jah cursed the serpent, and was wroth with it forever. And he was wroth with the woman, because she hearkened to the voice of the serpent, and did eat. And he said unto her, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy pains. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy return shall be unto thy husband, and he will rule over thee. And to Adam also he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat thereof, cursed be the ground for thy sake. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat thy bread in the sweat of thy face, till thou returnest to the earth from which thou wast taken. For earth thou art, and unto earth shalt thou return. And he made for them coats of skin, and clothed them, and sent them forth from the Garden of Eden. And on that day on which Adam went forth from the garden, he offered as a sweet savor an offering, frankincense, galbanum, and stacked, and spices in the morning with the rising of the sun, from the day when he covered his shame. And on that day was closed the mouth of all beasts, and of cattle, and of birds, and of whatever walks, and of whatever moves, so that they could no longer speak. For they had all spoken one with another, with one lip and with one tongue. And he sent out of the Garden of Eden all flesh that was in the Garden of Eden, and all flesh was scattered according to its kinds, and according to its types upon the places which had been created for them. And to Adam alone did he give the wherewithal to cover his shame of all the beasts and cattle. On this account, it is prescribed on the heavenly tablets as touching all those who know the judgment of the law, and or they that they should cover their shame, and should not uncover themselves as the Gentiles uncover themselves. And on the new moon of the 4th month, Adam and his wife went forth from the Garden of Eden, and they dwelt in the land of Eldah, in the land of their creation. And Adam called the name of his wife Eve. And they had no son till the first Jubilee. It says 8 a.m. And after this, he knew her. Now he tilled the land as he had been instructed in the Garden of Eden. Jubilees 4. And in the 3rd week, in the 2nd Jubilee, 64 through 70 a.m., she gave birth to Cain. And in the 4th, 71 through 77 a.m., she gave birth to Abel. And in the 5th, 78 through 84 a.m., she gave birth to her daughter, Awan. And in the 1st year of the 3rd Jubilee, 99 to 105 a.m., Cain slew Abel, because Jah accepted the sacrifice of Abel, and did not accept the offering of Cain. And he slew him in the field, and his blood cried from the ground to heaven, complaining because he had slain him. And Jah reproved Cain because of Abel, because he had slain him, and he made him a fugitive on the earth because of the blood of his brother, and he cursed him upon the earth. And on this account it is written on the heavenly tables, cursed is he who smites his neighbor treacherously. And let all who have seen and heard say, so be it. And the man who has seen and not declared it, let him be accursed as the other. And for this reason, we announce when we come before Jah, our God, all the sin which is committed in heaven and on earth, and in light and in darkness, and everywhere. And Adam and his wife mourned for Abel 4 weeks of the year, 99 through 127 a.m. And in the 4th year of the 5th week, 1:30 a.m., they became joyful, and Adam knew his wife again. And she bare him a son, and he called his name Seth. For he said, God has raised up a second seed unto us on the earth instead of Abel, for Cain slew him. And in the 6th week, 1:34 through 40 a.m., he begat his daughter Azorah. And Cain took Awan his sister to be his wife, and she bare him Enoch at the close of the 4th Jubilee, 190 to 196 a.m. And in the 1st year of the 1st week of the 5th Jubilee, 197 a.m., houses were built on the earth. And Cain built a city and called its name after the name of his son Enoch. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she bare yet 9 sons. And in the 5th week of the 5th Jubilee, 2:25 to 31 a.m., Seth took Azorah, his sister, to be his wife. And in the 4th year of the 6th week, 2:35 a.m., she bare him Enos. And he began to call on the name of Jah on the earth. And in the 7th Jubilee, in the 3rd week, 3:09 through 15 a.m., Enos took Noam, his sister, to be his wife, and she bare him a son in the 3rd year of the 5th week, and he called his name Canon. And at the close of the 8th Jubilee, 3:25, 386 through 3,992 a.m., Canon took Muoleleth, his sister, to be his wife, and she bare him a son in the 9th Jubilee. And in the 1st week, in the 3rd year of this week, 3:95 a.m., and he called his name Mahalalel. And in the 2nd week of the 10th Jubilee, 4:49 through 55 a.m., Mahalalel took unto him to wife Dinah, the daughter of Barachel, the daughter of his father's brother. And she bare him a son in the third week in the 6th year, 461 AM. And he called his name Jared. For in his days the angels of Jah descended on the earth, those who are named the Watchers, that they should instruct the children of men, and that they should do judgment and uprightness on the earth. And in the 11th Jubilee, 5:12 through 18 AM, Jared took to himself a wife, and her name was Baraka, the daughter of Rasujal, a daughter of his father's brother. In the 4th week of this Jubilee, 5:22 AM, and she bare him a son in the 5th week, in the 4th year of the Jubilee. And he called his name Enoch. That's our Enoch. And he was the first among men that are born on earth, who learned writing and knowledge and wisdom, and who wrote down the signs of heaven according to the order of their months in a book, that men might know the seasons of the years according to the order of their separate months. And he was the first to write a testimony, and he testified to the sons of men among the generations of the earth, and recounted the weeks of the Jubilees, and made known to them the days of the years, and set in order the months, and recounted the Sabbaths of the years as we made them known to him. And what was and what will be, he saw in a vision of his sleep, as it will happen to the children of men throughout their generations until the day of judgment. He saw and understood everything, and he wrote his testimony, and placed the testimony on earth for all the children of men and for all their generations. And in the 12th Jubilee, 582 to 88, in the 7th week thereon, he took to himself a wife, and her name was Edna, the daughter of Danel, the daughter of his father's brother. And in the 6th year, in this week, 587 AM, she bare him a son, and he called his name Methuselah. And he was moreover with the angels of God these 6 jubilees of years. And they showed him everything which is on earth and in the heavens, the rule of the sun. And he wrote down everything. And he testified to the watchers who had sinned with the daughters of men, for they had begun to unite themselves so as to be defiled with the daughters of men. And Enoch testified against them all. And he was taken from amongst the children of men, and we conducted him into the Garden of Eden in majesty and honor. And behold, there he writes down the condemnation and judgment of the world, and all the wickedness of the children of men. And on account of it, God brought the waters of the flood upon all the land of Eden. For there he was set as a sign, and that he should testify against all the children of men, that he should recount all the deeds of the generations until the day of condemnation. And he burnt the incense of the sanctuary, even sweet spices acceptable before Jah on the mount. For Jah has four places on the earth: the Garden of Eden, and the Mount of the East, and this mountain on which thou art this day, Mount Sinai, and Mount Zion, which will be sanctified in the new creation for a sanctification of the earth. Through it will the earth be sanctified from all its guilt and its uncleanness throughout the generations of the world. And in the 14th Jubilee, 6:52 a.m., Methuselah took unto himself a wife, Edna, the daughter of Azrael, the daughter of his father's brother, in the third week, in the first year of this week, 7:01 through 7 a.m. And he begat a son and called him Lamech. And in the 15th Jubilee, in the third week, Lamech took to himself a wife, and her name was Betenos, the daughter of Barachel, the daughter of his father's brother. And in this week she bare him a son, and he called his son Noah, saying, This one will comfort me for my trouble and all my work, and for the ground which Jah hath cursed. And at the close of the 19th Jubilee, in the 7th week, in the 6th year, 9:30 a.m. thereof, Adam died, and all his sons buried him in the land of his creation. And he was the first to be buried in the earth. And he lacked 70 years of 1,000 years. For 1,000 years are as one day in the testimony of the heavens, and therefore was it written concerning the tree of knowledge. On the day that ye eat thereof, ye shall die. For this reason he did not complete the years of this day, for he died during it. At the close of this Jubilee, Cain was killed after him in the same year, for his house fell upon him, and he died in the midst of his house, and he was killed by its stones. For with a stone he had killed Abel, and by a stone he killed in righteous judgment. And by a stone was he killed in righteous judgment. For this reason it was ordained on the heavenly tablets, with the instrument with which a man kills his neighbor, with the same shall he be killed. After the manner that he wounded him, in like manner shall they deal with him. And in the 25th, 12:05 a.m. Jubilee, Noah took himself a wife, and her name was Imzara, the daughter of Rachael, the daughter of his father's brother, in the first year of the 5th week, 12:07 a.m. And in the 3rd year thereof she bare him Shem. In the 5th year thereof, 12:09 a.m., she bare him Ham. And in the 1st year of the 6th week, 12:12 a.m., she bare him Japheth. Jubilees 5. And it came to pass, when the children of men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born unto them, that the angels of God saw them on a certain year of this Jubilee. And they were beautiful to look upon, and they took themselves wives of all whom they chose. And they bare unto them sons, and they were giants. And lawlessness increased on the earth, and all flesh corrupted its way. Alike men and cattle, and beasts and birds, and everything that walks on the earth, all of them corrupted their ways and their orders, and they began to devour each other. And lawlessness increased on the earth, and every imagination of the thoughts of all men was thus evil continually. And God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, and all flesh had corrupted its orders, and all that were upon the earth had wrought all manner of evil before his eyes. And he said that he would destroy man and all flesh upon the face of the earth, which he had created. But Noah found grace before the eyes of Jah. And against the angels whom he had sent upon the earth, he was exceedingly wroth. And he gave commandment to root them out of all their dominion. And he bade us to bind them in the depths of the earth. And behold, they were bound in the midst of them, and are kept separate. And against their sons went forth a command from before his face, that they should be smitten with the sword, and be removed from under heaven. And he said, My spirit shall not always abide on man, for they also are flesh, and their days shall be 120 years. And he sent his sword into their midst, and each should slay his neighbor. And they began to slay each other till they all fell by the sword, and were destroyed from the earth. And their fathers were witnesses of their destruction. And after this they were bound in the depths of the earth forever, until the day of the great condemnation, when judgment is executed on all those who have corrupted their ways and their works before Jah. And he destroyed all from their places, and there was not left one of them whom he judged not according to all their wickedness. And he made for all his works a new and righteous nature, so that they should not sin in their whole nature forever, but should be all righteous, each in his kind always. And the judgment of all is ordained and written on the heavenly tablets in righteousness, even the judgment of all who depart from the path which is ordained for them to walk in. And if they walk not therein, judgment is written down for every creature and for every kind. And there is nothing in heaven or on earth, or in light or in darkness, or in Sheol, or in the depth, or in the place of darkness, which is not judged. And all their judgments are ordained and written and engraved. In regard to all, he will judge the great according to his greatness, and the small according to his smallness, and each according to his way. And he is not one who will regard the person of any, nor is he one who will receive gifts. If he says that he will execute judgment on each, if one gave everything that is on the earth, he will not regard the gifts or the person of any, nor accept anything at his hands, for he is a righteous judge. And of the children of Israel, it has been written and ordained, if they turn to him in righteousness, he will forgive all their transgressions and pardon all their sins. It is written and ordained that he will show mercy to all who turn from all their guilt once each year. And as for all those who corrupted their ways and their thoughts before the flood, no man's person was accepted save that of Noah alone. For his person was accepted in behalf of his sons, whom God saved from the waters of the flood on his account. For his heart was righteous in all his ways, according as it was commanded regarding him, and he had not departed from aught that was ordained for him. And Jah said that he would destroy everything which was upon the earth, both men and cattle, and beasts and fowls of the air, and that which moveth on the earth. And he commanded Noah to make him an ark, that he might save himself from the waters of the flood. And Noah made the ark in all respects as he was commanded. In the 27th Jubilee of years, in the 5th week, in the 5th year, on the new moon of the first month, 1307 a.m. And he entered in the 6th year thereof, 1308 a.m., in the 2nd month, on the new moon of the 2nd month, till the 16th. And he entered, and all that we brought to him into the ark, and Jah closed it from without on the 17th evening. And Jah opened 7 floodgates of heaven, and the mouths of the fountains of the great deep, 7 mouths in numbers. And the floodgates began to pour down water from the heaven 40 days and 40 nights. And the fountains of the deep also sent up waters until the whole world was full of water. And the waters increased upon the earth. 15 cubits did the waters rise above all the high mountains. And the ark was lifted up above the earth, and it moved upon the face of the waters. And the water prevailed on the face of the earth 5 months, 150 days. And the ark went and rested on the top of Lubar, one of the mountains of Ararat. And on the new moon in the 4th month, the fountains of the great deep were closed, and the floodgates of heaven were restrained. And on the new moon of the 7th month, all the mouths of the abysses of the earth were opened, and the water began to descend into the deep below. And on the new moon of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen. And on the new moon of the 1st month, the earth became visible. And the waters disappeared from above the earth in the 5th week, in the 7th year, 1309 a.m. thereof. And on the 17th day, In the second month, the earth was dry. And on the 27th thereof, he opened the ark and sent forth from it beasts and cattle and birds and every moving thing. Jubilees 6. And on the new moon of the third month, he went forth from the ark and built an altar on that mountain. And he made atonement for the earth, and took a kid and made atonement by its blood for all the guilt of the earth. For everything that had been on it had been destroyed, save those that were in the ark with Noah. And he placed the fat thereof on the altar. And he took an ox and a goat and a sheep and kids and salt and a turtle dove and the young of a dove, and placed a burnt sacrifice on the altar, and poured thereon an offering mingled with oil, and sprinkled wine, and strewed frankincense over everything, and caused a goodly savor to arise, acceptable before Jah. And Jah smelt the goodly savor, and he made a covenant with him, that there should not be any more of a flood to destroy the earth, that all the days of the earth, seed time and harvest, should never cease. Cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night should not change their order, nor cease forever. And you, increase ye and multiply upon the earth, and become many upon it, and be a blessing upon it. The fear of you and the dread of you I will inspire in everything that is on the earth and in the sea. And behold, I have given unto you all beasts and all winged things, and everything that moves on the earth, and the fish in the waters, and all things for food. As the garden herbs, I have given you all things to eat. But flesh with the life thereof, with the blood, ye shall not eat. For the life of all flesh is in the blood, lest your blood of your lives be required. At the hand of every man, at the hand of every beast, will I require blood of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man. And you, increase ye and multiply on the earth. And Noah and his sons swore that they would not eat any blood that was in any flesh. And he made a covenant before Jah God forever, throughout all the generations of the earth in this month. On this account he spake to thee that thou shouldest make a covenant with the children of Israel in this month upon the mountain with an oath, and that thou shouldest sprinkle blood upon them because of all the words of the covenant which Jah made with them forever. And this testimony is written concerning you, that you should observe it continually, so that you shall not eat on any day any blood of beast or birds or cattle during all the days of the earth. And that man who eats the blood of beast or of cattle or of birds during all the days of the earth, he and his seed shall be rooted out of the land. And do thou command the children of Israel to eat no blood, so that their names and their seed may be before Jah our God continually. And for this law there is no limit of days, for it is forever. They shall observe it throughout their generations, so that they may continue supplicating on your behalf with blood before the altar every day, and at the time of morning and evening they shall seek forgiveness on your behalf perpetually before Jah, that they may keep it and not be rooted out. And he gave to Noah and his sons a sign that there should not again be a flood on the earth. He sent his bow in the cloud for a sign of eternal covenant, that there should not again be a flood on the earth to destroy it all the days of the earth. For this reason it is ordained and written on the heavenly tablets that they should celebrate the Feast of Weeks in the month once a year, to renew the covenant every year. And this whole festival was celebrated in heaven from the day of creation till the days of Noah. 26 Jubilees and 5 weeks of years, 1309 to 1659 AM. And Noah and his sons observed it for 7 Jubilees and 1 week of years, till the day of Noah's death. And from the day of Noah's death, his sons did away with it until the days of Abraham, and they eat blood. But Abraham observed it, and Isaac and Jacob and his children observed it up to thy days. And in thy days the children of Israel forgot it, until ye celebrated it anew on this mountain. And do thou command the children of Israel to observe this festival in all their generations, for a commandment unto them. 1 day in the year in this month they shall celebrate the festival. For it is the Feast of Weeks and the Feast of First Fruits. This feast is twofold and of a double nature, according to what is written and engraven concerning it, celebrate it. For I have written in the book of the first law, in that which I have written for thee, that thou shouldest celebrate it in its season, 1 day in the year. And I explained to thee its sacrifices, that the children of Israel should remember and should celebrate it throughout their generations in this month, 1 day in every year. And on the new moon of the first month, and on the new moon of the 4th month, and on the new moon of the 7th month, and on the new moon of the 10th month are the days of remembrance, and the days of the seasons in the 4 divisions of the year. These are written and ordained as a testimony forever. And Noah ordained them for himself as feasts for the generations forever, so that they have become thereby a memorial unto him. And on the new moon of the 1st month, he was bidden to make for himself an ark. And on that day, the earth became dry, and he opened the ark and saw the earth. And on the new moon of the 4th month, the mouths of the depths of the abyss beneath were closed. And on the new moon of the 7th month, all the mouths of the abysses of the earth were opened, and the waters began to descend into them. And on the new moon of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen, and Noah was glad. And on this account, he ordained them for himself as feasts for a memorial forever. And thus are they ordained. And they placed them on the heavenly tablets. Each had 13 weeks, from one to another past their memorial, from the first to the second, and from the second to the third, and from the third to the fourth. And all the days of the commandment will be 250 weeks of days. And these will make the entire year complete. Thus it is engraven and ordained on the heavenly tablets. And there is no neglecting this commandment for a single year or from year to year. And command thou the children of Israel that they observe the years according to this reckoning, 364 days. And these will constitute a complete year. And they will not disturb its time from its days and from its feasts, for everything will fall out in them according to their testimony. And they will not leave out any day nor disturb any feast. But if they do neglect and do not observe them according to his commandment, they will disturb all their seasons, and the years will be dislodged from this order. And they will disturb the seasons, and the years will be dislodged, and they will neglect their ordinances. And all the children of Israel will forget and will not find the path of the years, and will forget the new moons and seasons and Sabbaths, and they will go wrong as to all the orders of the years. For I know, and from henceforth will I declare it unto thee, and it is not of my own devising. For the book lies written before me, and on the heavenly tablets the division of days is ordained, lest they forget the feast of the covenant and walk according to the feast of the Gentiles, after their error and after their ignorance. For there will be those who will assuredly make observations of the moon, how it disturbs the seasons, and comes in from year to year 10 days too soon. For this reason, the years will come upon them when they will disturb the order, and make an abominable day the day of testimony, and an unclean day a feast day. And they will confound all the days, the holy with the unclean, and the unclean day with the holy. For they will go wrong, and to the months and Sabbaths and feasts and jubilees. For this reason I command and testify to thee, that thou mayest testify to them. For after thy death thy children will disturb them, so that they will not make the year 364 days only. For this reason they will go wrong as to the new moons and seasons and Sabbaths and festivals. And they will eat all kinds of blood with all kinds of flesh. So this is where I will stop. That was the end of Jubilees 6. So it is Jubilees 50 here, and I will read all 50, okay? So we'll break it up in a few, and that's where I'll pick back up, okay? Thank you for joining this reading of the Book of Jubilees. And let's see. If I didn't get to your, excuse me, to your comment, please forgive me. I will look at them later. But thank you for joining. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll keep you posted on when I pick up from Jubilees 7. There are some online versions if you wanted to read along or take notes. It is an interesting read, I have to say. But they say this is the lesser book of Genesis, the Genesis account. So this is what I'm reading, okay? So I will see you possibly maybe tomorrow, okay? Let's see, what is Karen saying? I guess that's why the calendar was changed from Gregorian to Julian calendar. So we're off. Yeah, excuse me. That is kind of what I was thinking too, Karen, like the way that days are off and everything, according to what, we know that things are off with the time and things. Let's see. Looking, you said I lived 364 days by moon and my cycle natural, never used birth control. How I went by the moon cycle is fascinating. Wow. T. Witten is saying, we are feminine planet rape invaded by rapists, killers called gods. Oh, wow. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm glad that you could. Yeah, it was interesting, right? Sunny day. You're welcome, Jamie. Yeah, we are way off on many things, is right. Yes, so it's interesting to see how these things are spelled out in these words. So I will definitely go back and highlight some of the things that answered some things I was wondering about. But it's an interesting account, different from the Genesis that we're used to. So again, if you have any comments or anything, please drop them below, and I will catch up with you later. All right. Love you all.